Welcome into the Michigan Football Report. Ladies and gentlemen, I am here in Allen Park, Michigan. I left the game, came here, went to a birthday party actually, but I didn't want to wait until Sunday to film this. Michigan football grades versus Army, and frankly, one of the most gut-wrenching, confusing games of my life as a Michigan fan. I put it out on Twitter as we were driving back. This is the Akron 2003 game to me. I certainly know the Akron team was bad, but folks, this just felt wrong. This game felt dirty, and I'm filming from a hotel room. The great folks, my man Dylan, back in the San Francisco, or the Dallas Chat Sports Studios, recording for me. We're going to do our Michigan football grades right now, starting with the man you see on your screen, Jim Harbaugh. I don't say, folks, he's getting an F. Jim Harbaugh is getting an F for this performance. I understand that Army had a long winning streak, the second longest to Clemson in the country coming into this game. I understand they dropped 70 points against Houston in their bowl game, but the decision-making from Jim Harbaugh, the decision-making from this coaching staff, the penalties, when it just hurts so bad, especially like in overtime, when you stop them on third down and they're going to have to kick a field goal, and you get a penalty in the defense. The fourth down play calls after Shea Patterson went out late in the fourth quarter against a team who can't complete a pass to save their life. Jim Harbaugh gets an F for this performance, folks. Now, let's talk about that offensive coordinator, Josh Gattis. Josh Gattis is, I'm not going to say he's in the hot seat. That's ridiculous. We all know 2 games in. But the honeymoon is over for Josh Gattis, folks. It is over. I have pictures on my phone. I was taking them all day. Flying private to the game, no big deal. Sitting in the 35-yard line or so. Section 2. I have photos of formations all day, and this is the 2018 offense altogether. There's nothing Josh Gattis has done to improve the Michigan offense at all. And I might say that they've taken a step back because, one, they're using a tight end at all times. Almost every play I see in there, a tight end. Number 2, anytime the tight end goes in motion, it's always a run. And 3, they're stacking 3 wide receivers to one side of the field at all times. They're never doing 2 wide receivers and 3, or 3 and 2, or 2 and 2. It's an embarrassment. This offense is not where it needs to be, and Gattis has brought nothing to the play. No speed and space. Maybe you got someone Ronnie Bell late in the game, but other than that, Gattis has got an F minus from me. How about defense coordinator Don Brown? C minus. I'm giving Don Brown a C. What do you say, Dylan? A C? Okay, good. C for Don Brown. The defense played okay. Only up 14 points in regulation to Army. A top 30 team in the country. But they really, some of the formations that were going on, some of the penalties that happened on defense just didn't cut it for me. I want to give Don Brown a better grade because for the most part it was okay. But Army just really for stretches just whatever they want on with the ball. So I'm giving Don Brown a C. I think his players may have done a little better, down the stretch. And of course, the defense won that game with that great strip sack at the end of the game and fumble recovery. But nevertheless, Don Brown's going to see. He's certainly not F minus on shot gas, but that is what it is. Let's take a look at the scoreboard from this game, folks. Michigan wins 24-21, double overtime against Army. Army could have won it at the end of regulation. I'll be frank, sitting with my dad, sitting with my son, sitting with my wife, talking to all the great folks there in Section 2. And end of regulation, I called it to the group. I said, they're going to run the ball to the left, and they're going to try and down it in the center of the field and spike it. Exactly what they did. And then my dad called at the end. He's like, whatever Don Brown does here, he needs to rush everybody because if they pass, that quarterback's not ready to throw the ball because he throws 4 times a game. Michigan could strip him here, could sack him here, knock him out of field goal range, or get a fumble, and Michigan, the game's over. And I was surprised they did exactly that. So that's the grades on the coaching staff. F minus, and C. The scoreboard, you see the stats there. Michigan wins it. Just a frustrating game, folks. I took a picture right when the kickoff was about there, right when Michigan was running in the field. And that was the best moment of my day until that last play. Luckily for us, we rushed out of there, able to get back to a birthday party in Allen Park, Michigan. Take a look at the offense. We're going to go over offense, special teams, defense. We've got an F minus, and C for the defense coordinator. Let's take a look at Shea Patterson. Getting Shea Patterson up there, Dill. Take a look at Mr. Shea Patterson, a guy I have been championing I've been the Shea Patterson czar. One of these games, you can't get Wi-Fi in this damn stadium, Michigan Stadium, so you don't know his stats. They don't show player stats for some reason in Michigan Stadium. But as I'm in this lovely, let's just call it the Ritz-Carlton of Allen Park, I'm looking at Shea's stats. Not as bad as I would have thought. We ended up like 19 of 29. I don't have him right in front of me since I'm filming on my iPhone. But 19 of 29, no interceptions, but he put the ball on the ground a lot. I'm giving Shea Patterson a C-. Take a look at his stats here. Decent, but this is not speed and space. And sacked 4 times. And you're going to see my grades for the offensive line here in a second. I think a couple of those sacks were Shea's fault. Several of them, were not. And one fumble his fault. One fumble not. He got blindsided. And by the way, I was talking with some people at the game about this. I think it's the first time in Michigan football history that the team has started the first drive of the first 2 games of the season with a turnover by the same player. Nevertheless, C- for Shea Patterson. Let's go to running backs. I'm going with a C. I don't know why they ran the ball so much today. I felt there was a reason. There was some sort of weird game plan, and they wanted to milk the clock a little bit too, since Army had such a ball control offense. C for the running backs. Zach Charbonnet, we see here, 33 carries. This isn't 2002 Mike Carter, 2002 Chris Perry, 2005 Mike Carter. 33 carries for a true freshman running back is absurd. They gave no carries to anybody else. They didn't let Shea Patterson run it all. They didn't put Dylan McCaffrey in to run it all. That's too many carries. And to only get 100 yards against Army, I'm taking them Army all the credit. Classy group there, great fans, really inspiring. Just set up there with all the the Army guys on the sideline. But to only gain 3 yards per carry and still give them the ball to the man for 33 yards. Zach Charbonnet did not break up a single run really for the whole game. So I don't know why they kept feeding it to him. I don't know why they didn't throw the ball more. It was a very confusing offensive game plan. 33 carries, 100 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Of course, he got the ball inside the 5 and scored 3 touchdowns. But C for the running backs. Let's take a look at the wide receivers. The wide receivers were either not playing well or they were a victim of a terrible pass, game plan by Josh Gattis. Ronnie Bell, who I call Drops Bell, he must have saw that tweet I put out on Friday and bought some stick on because he was catching things, and he seemed to be the only thing that was working because nothing going downfield was working to Tariq Black. Nothing was going to Nico Collins. So C- for the wide receivers. Take a look at Ronnie Bell's stats. He was the only guy doing anything today. And really, once the fourth quarter and overtime started, he was Shea Patterson's number 1 option. And it was basically Ronnie Bell in the slot, go over the middle, catch the ball. That was the game plan today. The downfield passing is just not working. Tariq Black, Nico Collins were, to be frank, at the game. My dad at one point said to me, did Nico Collins get hurt? I haven't heard that guy's name called over the loudspeakers in 2 hours. What's going on here? And I'm like, I don't think so, but let's take a look. He was not hurt, to my knowledge. But nevertheless, C- for the wide receivers. Let's take a look. We say Harbaugh weigh in or Gattis weigh in, Dylan, back there in the studios. Harbaugh weigh in. I want to ask you guys this question, folks. Grade Jim Harbaugh's coaching career at Michigan so far. Grade his career at Michigan so far. A, B, C, D, or F. What is your grade for Harbaugh through 4 years and 2 games in his 5th season at Michigan, struggling with Army? This feels a lot like Akron in 2013, Brady Hoke. Hoke won that game barely like today, Harbaugh, and then they went 9-13 over the next season and 2/3, and ultimately was canned as Michigan's head coach. It just felt bad to me. It just felt dirty to me. Nevertheless, but how about Josh Gattis? We give the grades on Harbaugh, A, B, C, D, F. Let's talk about Josh Gattis, 1 through 10. How confident are you in Josh Gattis? 1 through 10. 1 being not confident at all, Yoder. 10 being like speed and space, hashtag all day. I want to hear from you guys. I'm going to be frank up here, folks. Be frank. I'm going to be straight up with you guys. I am 1. I have no confidence in Gattis. I watched this offense today. Disaster. Terrible. Nothing innovative. Nothing speed and space. Nothing spread. Nothing hurry up. Where's the hurry up offense? No hurry up. That's where it's at. Let's keep it rolling. Offensive line. Offensive line without going back and watching tapes. Remember, I was at the game, watched no film. I've seen 0 highlights of this game so far. Went to a birthday party for my cousin's daughter, and then came to film this. And my man Dylan in the studio had this thing ready. D- to the offensive line. Okay, 100 yards rushing for Charbonnet and 33 carries. Shea Patterson getting hit blindsided. Shea Patterson running for his life all day. Bad setup by the offensive line. I didn't think they did very well. And how about those penalties? How about those drive-killing penalties? Cesar Ruiz, 1 point, fell over while they were trying to snap the ball. Ben Bredesen with some penalties. Not a good showing from the offensive line. D- for them. How about tight ends? I almost went NA. I looked at the stats as I was driving back. I'm giving them a B- from the tight ends. There was a drop or two in there. One from McCune, one from Nick Eubanks. But they both had a couple catches. Both did okay. Not really a game to give them a huge grade. B- for the tight ends. I just want to give everybody on the offense an F, though. And to be frank, it's all Josh Gattis. This game plan just was so rudimentary, so 2002 Michigan. It was so not speed in space. It was so not hurry up offense. It was so old school thinking. Nevertheless, special teams next up. Ronnie Bell at the ball hit the ground too many times. Ronnie Bell fumbled on a punt return, and that's not good. You get Giles Jackson breaking one past the 50 or near the 50, wherever it was, and then you get a penalty. I think a kind of a weak penalty, but nevertheless, he did not need us to kind of have a crackback block on that defender. Jackson was past him. C+ for the special teams, and that is the offensive grades for Michigan's win over Army in double overtime. Offense, special teams. Guys, were you watching the game? Were you watching it on Fox's on their big noon game? If you were, you could have watched it with the MyTV Choice app. They are presenting sponsor on the Michigan Football Report. We love MyTV Choice. What they do is you download the app, chatsports.com/ is it MyTV, Dylan, back there? Is that what it is? Chatsports.com/MyTV. The URL is in the bottom of the screen. I can't see it. I'm Skyping in from my iPhone. But you guys need to download the app because what happens? The game goes to commercial break. You connect the app to your Wi-Fi, and your smart TV takes over, plays awesome videos from Chat Sports and some other sources during commercial breaks. The second the game's back on, you're back to the game. So if you don't want to watch stupid commercials, want to see awesome sports updates from Chat Sports and some other partners there, download MyTV Choice for Michigan football games, all NFL games, and college football throughout the entire 2019 fall. Let's take it to the defense. I don't know I can't tell you what grade I can give for the defense because it was such a frustrating game to watch. I understand what Army does. I know they run this triple option, but the three defensive line setup for Michigan does not work for me. It just does not work. Let's take a look at the defensive line. C- for the defensive line. We're going to toss up some stats here on the field. I thought Aiden Hudson played nice. He had a couple of really nice stops, but I really felt Michigan should have been 4 or even a 5-down defensive line because Army was gashing them. You never got producer Dylan. He messaged me after the game. Was like the stats machine must be broken because Michigan there's no tackles for losses, and maybe we got one in there for Aiden Hudson, 1.5, whatever it is. But Michigan they got 2 or 3 yards minimum on every first down, every second down did Army on Michigan's defense. So C- for the defensive line. It might have been a D or a D+ had the defensive line not held up big time in that second overtime. Got the strip sack, got the fumble recovery. They played well. Hutchinson might be your player of the game, but Carlo Kemp, Kwity Paye, I don't know about these guys. Luckily, we didn't see a ton of Ben Mason. Michael Dwumfor, as I told you, out again. That is the deep line that's the grade C- for the defensive line. I'm just going to say this, guys. I remember Akron. I remember UConn in 2013, quite a few other games over the years where you're just like, woo! So, hey, at least Michigan won, right? If you still love the Wolverines, but you're like me, you're very skeptical on the coaching staff right now and what this season is going to bring where we all thought it'd be a title. Just type Go Blue in the comments. Let's keep things positive. I'm still excited to play Wisconsin in 2 weeks, although I'm not sure if I'm going to predict a victory. At least they won. Type Go Blue if it's just like, hey, A win's a win, baby. Let's go. Go blue on that one. How about the linebackers? It's such a different offense, and I almost gave at halftime. I was going to actually give the secondary like a non-applicable an NA. I can't give them a grade, but then Lavert got that interception and all that different stuff. But for the linebackers, I'm going with a B. Okay, not too many big runs really at all. There was one or two in the first half. The second half, they clamped down a little bit. Josh Hudson, Josh Ross, Khaleke Hudson, 12 tackles for Hudson, 9 tackles for Josh Ross. I'm giving these guys a B. Jordan Glasgow, baby, again. This guy is everywhere. I watched him on TV last week. I watched him in person this week. And Jordan Glasgow is just a gamer. He's the kind of guy who just gets things done, okay? I like what I see out of Glasgow. He has benched Jordan Anthony. He's benched Cam McGrone, a couple guys I thought would get a lot more playing time throughout this first couple games of the year. Jordan Glasgow, the third walk-on from the Glasgow family. I swear, if you took the DNA of the Glasgow family and just injected it into every person in America, this country would be unbelievable. And nevertheless, B for the linebackers, that they did the best they could do. One or two runs that they could have had back, but nevertheless, a lot of tackles, a lot of pressure on those guys to make the right read and to make the tackles. There really weren't many broken tackles. Now, how about the secondary? I was going to give them an NA, not applicable, because, gosh, how many passes did Army throw all day? But I'm giving them a B. There was one or two passes they wish they could have had back, especially that one where there's two passes. One, the guy got out the right sideline wide open. The other one, they ran the option, stopped back, and hit the option running back. Other than that, Lavert Hill's interception. I'm just going to look at my notes here, but I've got Lavert Hill's interception as the play of the game because Army is up 14-7 at that point. They are second and goal from the 1 yard line. There's a 5 yard penalty, and then a play later, Lavert Hill makes a great interception when Army is trying to throw the ball, second and goal, whatever it was, from the 6 yard line after the 5 yard penalty. Had it not been the penalty or the interception, one of those two things has to happen. They both happen. Army is up 21-7, guys. Army is up 21-7. They probably win the game because Michigan doesn't have many offensive possessions because Army holds the ball for so long. So Lavert Hill redeemed himself, 2 tackles, 1 interception. He returned it for 20 yards, but he catches it like the 4 or 5 yard line, took it back past the 20. Great play for Lavert Hill, kind of redeeming himself after that drop pick 6 and that fumble on special teams as a punt return last week. Ronnie Bell's in there this week. He fumbled again on the punt return. Hopefully, Donovan Peoples-Jones is back in 2 weeks against Wisconsin on September 21st on the road in Wisconsin, at Wisconsin. One-word reaction, guys. What is your one-word reaction to Michigan's 24-21 win over Army? What's your one-word reaction? I'm going to think of one on the fly. I haven't thought of this one yet. I'm just going to go, shit. That was shit, man. That really was shit. That's a lot more than words, but I was so frustrated watching that game. I had zero fun today watching that Michigan football game. So I'm going to use that swear word. You can use guys whatever you want. I'm using the word shit. But subscribe to the channel. If you like our shows, we're doing Michigan football rumors, injury updates, game previews. You saw the highlights that Dylan put out. I'd normally do that show myself, but I'm on the road for the game. Can't do the highlights. And then our Michigan football grades coming a few hours after the games on Saturdays, or if it's a night game, coming Sunday morning. YouTube.com/Michigan TV. Really appreciate the support. And I'll tell you this. Allen Park Restaurant last night, I think it was called Pia's, or it's in Taylor, Michigan. Got a fan came up and asked, who he said he was a fan of the show. Went to the game, got some pictures of people today. I was getting Yoders left and right. So really appreciate the support. Really means a lot. My wife was like, "Wow, your show must be doing really well." Nevertheless, one-word reaction to the game, and then make sure you subscribe while you are watching the Michigan Football Report. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching again. If you want to watch the highlights from the game, my man Dylan put them together while we're getting this show ready here. And if you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button right here. Dylan, make it next to my head so I can just press it when you're doing the post game. Hit the subscribe button, watch the highlights. We'll be back in a couple of days with more Michigan football rumors as my camera knocks down. That's fine. Go blue.